Whip. Congressman Roskam, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What do you think? I mean, please tell me. I mean, it's going better behind the scenes than it seems to be going from the outside here, right?
Well, look, House Republicans are working to get to yes, and Speaker Boehner has put new ground on the table for House GOP, and that is to say we're willing to talk about revenues, which is groundbreaking for House Republicans. And the president seems to be in full campaign mode right now. I think it was a mistake for him to go to Asia, but that's his prerogative. Now he's out doing campaign events and stoking up the campaign base in order to win 1/5 or 1/4 of the debate, and that is on the revenue side. But we haven't heard anything substantive from the White House in 3 weeks about spending cuts. Where are the savings? And if the president has a described architecture of this, of a 3-to-1 ratio between savings to revenues, we've litigated the revenue side, but on the savings side, we've heard absolutely nothing. But have you? I mean, you've litigated
the revenue side. Like, what are you willing to give on the revenue side specifically?
Okay, so House Republicans have said we're willing to put new revenues on the table, and we're willing to discuss those. Remember, we're a party
But how?
I
mean, are you talking about you're not willing to raise the marginal rate? You're willing to, close loopholes?
Yeah, that's it exactly, and also moving it through growth. So think about it. We're a party that believes that Washington, D.C. really doesn't have a revenue problem.
I'm right here with you. I just want to figure out where we are in this because it's so hard to tell from here. What loopholes do you want to close?
Look, there's a whole host of them that you can discuss in the context of tax reform.
Give me like
but
3.
Here's the irony. Look, here's the irony. You and I have been talking for 3 minutes, and the entire 3 minutes we've been talking about 1/4 of this equation.
No,
we haven't heard
I hear you, but that's because you're on the side that they're asking revenues up, and I totally agree with you. We've heard nothing about spending cuts, and that has to happen going forward. I totally concede your point without question. But from your side of closing the loopholes in the revenues, which is what the other side is demanding, just give me like 3 loopholes that you would close. Just give me 3 examples.
I'm not going to give you 3 specific examples right now because I'm a deputy whip. Well, because I don't want to get strung out on trying to put something together that isn't sustainable from a House Republican point of view. But let me say this.
Can you tell me without telling me what the specifics are? Have you offered them? Don't tell me what they are. Have you offered them specific loopholes?
It's a general discussion when the Speaker of the House says to the President of the United States, we're willing to put revenues on the table. In the past, that was good enough for President Obama when he was negotiating with the Speaker on the debt ceiling deal. And the question was, what's the number? The President at that point wasn't saying, how are you getting to it? We can get to it. And here's the thing.
So you gave them a number? Is that what you're saying? You gave them a number of how much revenue that it would generate or how many deductions you want to eliminate?
Clearly, in the last debate during the debt ceiling deal, the president was at one number, overplayed his hand, and the speaker had to walk away. Now, the White House is coming up and saying they need another $1.6 trillion in revenue. That's not realistic.
So what's your number? If his is $1.6 trillion, what is your number?
No, I'm not going to give you a number. I think the point is that the House Republicans are willing to say revenues are part of this conversation. But here's what we've heard from the White House in terms of offerings on spending. Nothing. Zip.
Yeah.
And so they've made an offering today that's completely not serious. More stimulus spending, unbridled presidential authority to raise the debt ceiling. It's nonsense. They need to get out of campaign mode and fully engage the House.
Nobody wants to show their hand or really be the first guy to like lay a card down or sort of open up the negotiation, put something out there, say here's what I'll give.
We have one president of the United States. One. It's the president's job to lead. The speaker laid out a pathway 2 days after the election, and we've not seen the type of presidential leadership that I know the president is capable of.
Congressman, make me feel better here. On a scale of 1 to money, how close are we to a deal? What do you think?
I say we're at 2. I tend to be I tend to be an optimist, but this offering today from the White House, it's just like, you got to be kidding me. This seems like it's a lounge act. They're not serious. And so come up with a substantive proposal that House Republicans can consider. And we're trying to get to yes. We're not going to get to foolish, though.
Okay. All right. I hear you. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.